the video quality is still sucking ass. Hey everyone, Andy Hall here. Is the video quality better? I hope it is. With me, Ken Tobin of KBF, Ken Bin Fam, and Big Zebra. The funny thing about StreamYard, and I'm going to continue with my rant here about StreamYard, is that when you are seeing bad video quality, I look fine as I'm talking, looking at the camera. Everything looks fine. It isn't until I saw the chat and then started looking at my second screen that's like, wow, video quality kind of sucks ass. And I don't know why, because I was using a landline. And so Ken, Tobin of KBF and Big Zebra got to hear me rant about this twice within just like 5 minutes.
And it was delightful both times.
Oh, why, thank you. You're too kind.
Well, the thing is that there are so many potential hiccups in the system. It's amazing it works at all, ever. So I wouldn't worry about it or think there was some major problem or something.
You just calmed me right down, Big Zebra.
Oh, well, I have that effect. You know, the herd is a comforting presence.
The herd is, wow, that is so profound. The herd is a comforting presence. Well, yes, that's good. Blazing. It looks good now.
I detected John Hudson.
I detected John Hudson.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I did learn something cool.
Oh?
What?
Some history about lipstick.
Do tell.
I did not know that it was like about women's suffrage. And it was women were not supposed to put it on in public. Not only did it was like a social like thing, but there was Hitler did not like lipstick. God thought lipstick was like an abomination. I wish I had some lipstick on right now just to put it on, because it's about like women's suffrage. There is a history to lipstick that I never even knew about until last night. Lipstick is cool.
So's cherry chapstick.
Yeah.
Well, technically, all grooming, you're not supposed to do that in view of others unless you're in the bathroom. So you're not supposed to sit there combing your hair or that sort of thing.
You know, so where did you learn all this information, Tobin?
Yes.
There's a history channel that Kendra watches.
Oh yeah.
What is the name of that history channel?
I think the one I was watching was called like Weird History.
Weird History?
Weird
Oh,
History.
I know that channel. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. Hey, if we have a little lull, there's something I'd like to talk about, but I won't take the floor for long.
Let me just share this image. I was busy this morning. I did this post on Joe Manchin being the black hole. I posted a link in the first show. And then, what was real, it's been a very frustrating morning for me too. So I showed this to the girlfriend and she goes, well, that's Joe Manchin and that's a black hole, but what's he in? It's like, well, that's West Virginia. It's like, don't you know that's West Virginia, the outline of West Virginia? She goes, I have no idea what West Virginia looks like. It's like, oh man.
How did West Virginia get carved up to be so damn weird in shape?
I'm glad you asked, because I do have some information. And I'm not going to belabor this because I know Big Z wants to take the stage.
No, it's not a hurry.
During the Civil War, as many of you probably already know, that there was the North versus the South, but within each state, there were sections or parts that were, like in the North, there were pro-Southern counties and districts. In the South, there were pro-Northern counties and districts. Well, West Virginia decided to stay with the Union. And so if you look at a map of Virginia pre-1860, Virginia encompasses its current day borders as well as West Virginia. And it wasn't until, I think after the Civil War, it was officially demarcated into this funky shape there.
Oh, so that's not a collection of rivers and natural barriers between it and another state, then?
Well, one would guess that the original borders of Virginia, which included West Virginia, did include natural borders. If you look at the you can usually tell where there's no natural borders because it's a straight line. So those straight lines, probably no natural border, and it was just longitude and latitude. But there's probably and when you think about during wartime, during the Civil War, there was probably a natural river, or there's probably a river that goes, that forms the demarcation line between West Virginia and Virginia proper.
So you're saying a river runs through it?
I'm saying a river runs through it. That's right.
Okay. I will keep this short since it's on the same subject. I'm putting in a link to Dr. Kennard's article that we just talked about. And while we're chatting, why not click on the link if you're watching this show? Click on the link I just posted in chat and share it to Facebook or Twitter or both.
You're too kind. You're too kind, Big Zebra.
Well,
is this the one about Amy?
No, this is the one we just talked about.
This was the joke about. This was the joke about Joe Manchin being a black hole.
Oh, right.
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was too, and he is a hole.
He is a hole.
Yeah, it's. I remember that story where he was being followed by people in kayaks on his luxury yacht. And I can't remember, but it was something where, we have to, cut human services, something to that effect.
So this is an interesting question, Cindy. Do you think the divide over abortion is as important in the U.S. as slavery was? I'm going to say no, and I have my reasons. But what about you guys? Other penis-wielding oppressors here on the channel? On the panel.
Well, I think that if abortion had been easily possible during the era of slavery, slave masters who are largely Christian would have been aborting those babies left and right. So, although now they're apparently against abortion. I'm sorry, that doesn't really address the question, Cindy Prowse.
I saw where Meta did a thing on YouTube saying how it could come back and backfire against conservatives. It was a really good argument, I thought.
I love Hemet, but that's like saying, John Hudson, that the other team has the ball in the red zone and they're not going to go for a touchdown. It doesn't work.
But where he was saying is, down the line, these babies, mamas that are, forced to have babies from being raped by their father and stuff. When that comes out, and just the aftermath. It's not like it wasn't like an instantaneous thing. Where's the outrage going to be there? Yeah. I mean, Texas being pro-life, and still there's over 35,000 kids in foster care and different things. I'm
gonna say this, and this is me feeling a little punchy this morning, probably. All right, so I'm gonna say a few things that I usually think and I usually don't say. But the problem with liberals is that they don't understand conservative, and they don't understand our country either, or where we're at. All things being equal, if the entire country wasn't like swirling down the tubes, right, and facing this concerted effort to undermine what amounts to democracy here, then yeah, it could backfire, right? If this was 1970, if this was 1980 or 1990 or even 2010, this move by the Republicans could backfire in their faces. But we're in a different world now where and we have seen this, January 6th is just an example that they are making a hard push to take over the country. And this is not going to de-energize their people. This is going to just give them more red meat for their base to keep pushing and pushing hard. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, did you see that letter I sent you in chat? Like, they're serious. They want the military to come together, and uh, it wasn't exactly clear what they're wanting to do, what they wanted the military to do, but it's weird.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
they
know.
want.
I don't know if people would actually, though, because there was a civil war with slavery. I don't know if we would go to war
I
over
don't.
abortion.
What people don't. It's difficult to really comprehend how major slavery was in this country before the Civil War. 1/3 of the population. This is what I remember hearing, and I think my number is right. 1/3 of the population of the South were slaves. So there were 9 people. I think there were 9 million people in the South, but 3 million were slaves. So
That sounds right.
that's a huge economy. The reason why the U.S. couldn't buy off slavers, right, slave owners like the British did, is because we just weren't rich enough, and we didn't have the political will, but there just wasn't money enough. It was a huge slave economy,
I interrupted you, man.
No,
For a stupid joke.
it's unfortunate that I don't think abortion itself would drive the country into civil war. However, that's assuming that we're not already in a low-grade civil war and we're taking a little timeout period right now, But it's really, you think of abortion as part of a battle within a greater war, right? So it isn't just abortion that we're fighting over. We're fighting against Christian supremacy, white supremacy, oligarchy. That's the war. Abortion is a battle within that war. I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the many issues that divide us. Yep.
The problem I see with the conservatives is that I don't think they will ever be satisfied. They will always want more.
Oh yeah.
And so even though we can't anticipate what comes after abortion is banned,
I think we can make it pretty good.
we could try, but there will always be something more they will take, which is why they have to be stopped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they want it all. I mean, if January 6th didn't teach us anything, or the Trump administration didn't teach us anything, it's the fact that they are not satisfied with half or quarter or whatever they have right now. They want it all. They are serious, and to treat them. I guess basically what I'm saying is that I disagree with Emmett in the fact that it could blow up in their faces, but I think it's just more red meat for the base.
What I don't understand is how a lot of the people that I've met that are conservative and such are the ones that could really benefit off some social programs. You know what I mean? They're poor, uneducated, ill health a lot of times, and could benefit off, a little socialist activity.
They have been brainwashed. I mean, they've been brainwashed by the cult that they belong to, typically evangelical Christianity, and they've been brainwashed by the political wing of their cult, which is the Republican Party now, into thinking that any form of socialism, whatever that means, in their minds is wrong. Science is wrong. Social, any kind of government support is wrong. And like I've said before, this country is either going to go Norway, it's going to go the way of Norway, or it's going to become Arkansas and Mississippi. There's no middle ground there, and a lot of very nice liberals just don't want to understand that. It's either one thing or the other.
Also, there's a really weird thing where all this January 6th investigation charges, if it's anyone important, the process is so slow that nothing will ever happen because there'll be an election and conservatives will be back in power here and there.
Oh yeah, they just got to stonewall it. Conservative. I mean, conservative lawmakers can just stonewall and not show up, and by the time that they have to, or it's going to be the midterms are over and the Republicans going to be back in charge of the House at the very least.
Well, what I see happening is 2022, we get hit hard.
Yeah.
But I think the shit show that's going to continue for the next 2 years, if the Democrats can come up with a viable person for presidency, they'll take it again.
That's a real
shit show.
And I will say that I mean, there's a real possibility that the Democrats can do it in 2024.
Who would be a candidate for presidency, though?
I don't know. And to tell you the truth, Professor Alan Lichtman, who I like to talk about, he's been on the channel. He wrote the 13 keys to unlock the White House. It's basically, he figured out a system that if a candidate or a political party has 7 variables out of 13, then they win the White House. And it's a pretty decent system. It's worked pretty consistently since the 80s when he first devised it. I'd like to have him back on the channel. I've been able to trick him to make him think that I know what I'm talking about. He's been on the channel talking about.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Well, but, if the con's your game, play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drilling out back. They broke their drill at about 300 feet, I believe it was. So
for the water, you drill it.
Yeah, they're shut down till next week.
So they hit the bedrock. They hit bedrock.
No, it's limestone. It drills through, but still, it got pretty hot, and I'm not exactly sure what went on with it, but they shut down and said they'd probably be out here next Tuesday. Finishing up.
Well, the good thing is that it's not a rush, right? Like you don't need it.
No, I've got 17,000 gallons of rainwater collected.
Wow, that's pretty good.
In the cisterns out back, yes, sir. And then I've got a well out front too. It's just, you don't need to be Jesus to walk on this water. It's so damn hard.
Ooh.
But it'll water my veggies and stuff. So
that's good. That's good.
Just kind of smaller this year because where I was gardening last year is now a playground for the kids.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's important to me.
Good.
I'm trying to make did a fire pit and stuff and build some benches around it and such. So when we got a half a beef that we're gonna have a little get together here. Some friends of Nick's from the union and
nice.
There's people from work come out here and do a party.
What am I doing I'm doing social things this weekend. Oh, we're doing the protest thing. There's the protest that's going on 14th against the Roe versus Wade situation with SCOTUS. I don't know where it is. I think it's somewhere in Boston. The girlfriend is in charge of this, just because she's organized and stuff, unlike me. So we're going to be doing that on Saturday.
By the way, as a protest, if there are anti-abortionists around, maybe you could throw nothing hard, nothing that would hurt them, but throw babies at them. Things like baby dolls, little plastic dolls.
Do you think I should just give them a garland?
Pacifiers.
Do you think I should just give them a garland of a necklace made from plastic baby head dolls? Right.
Also good. I love it. Well, they're the one who they want these babies to come out. So give them all the babies they want. Yes, they're plastic, but it'll give them an idea of what,
Yeah.
Trump's Freedom Fest is going to be in Austin on Saturday. If you guys don't have anything going on, Kimberly Guilfoyle and Donnie Jr. is going to be there.
Wow, man.
Tickets as cheap as $9.
Oh yeah, well, I once again, Trump has been kind of riding a wave of Well, some of his candidates would have won without him, but some of his candidates so far have definitely gotten a bump. So
it's going to be pretty interesting in Austin, as liberal as it is. I think there's going to be people down there. It's going to be a real freaking shit show,
Oh yeah. Is Alex Jones still down there?
Yeah, he runs his thing out of Austin.
Well, maybe he'll show up.
Joe Rogan too.
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah, I haven't been. That clown hasn't been in the news lately. I don't know what he's been up to.
I don't know.
I will say this. I
do listen to him just because some of it's not all trash.
It isn't all right.
No, it isn't.
I agree.
He gets some great people on there, but
he does, and
he's good when there's good people on there, and then it turns into the shit show when he gets some freak on there.
I will say this about Sam Harris. Sam Harris, I was listening to one of his podcasts, and he did mention, and he said, quote unquote, without naming any names, he was interviewing, I think an epidemiologist or maybe someone in AI, I forget, one of the smarty guests that Harris has on. And he goes, that there have been people that we both know that kind of went crazy during the pandemic, and now we can't really, they can't be talked to. Can't be reasoned with anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if he's talking about Joe Rogan, because that sounds like he's talking about Joe. Because before the pandemic, they were pretty tight. They were pretty tight for a while. But I haven't noticed any Harris/Rogan love lately.
Oh. Yeah, I like his stance on the comedy thing. I think everybody should be a target on comedy. I'm sorry. It's meant to be funny.
I think that after the age of 30, that it gets progressively difficult to be relevant and not and to know where the culture is going after a certain age. Dylan said you can't trust anyone after 30, and there's
my thing on comedy is everybody should be a target. I don't really care. A joke's a joke, and
I am not.
Everybody is a target. Everybody,
especially those handicapped kids.
Everybody.
So
they walk around if they can walk.
Everybody should be a target.
So there was there's this comedian Sam Morrill, who I'm a big fan of, and I've talked about Sam Morrill a bunch of times. Yeah. And he kind of he was joking about abortion, but he wasn't joking. He wasn't making fun of the women who are going to have to suffer because of the restrictions on abortion. And then he was able to slide in a dead baby joke. But you didn't realize it was a dead baby joke until you think about it afterwards. And you go, that was a dead baby joke. But it was done in such an artful way.
Oh, do you have a clip for that? I want to hear a dead baby joke. Can we do something and make jokes about kids in wheelchairs and stuff and spina bifida?
Well, this is the thing, is that I would say that I'm not, when I spend my time, and I've talked about what I think about comedy quite a bit. In fact, I wrote a post just the other day taking issue with someone from Reductress about a post that they wrote, which I have to check the comments. I haven't checked it in the last day or so. But I'm not a person who's going to shit on people who are already like up to their armpits and shit, right? I'm a comfort the afflicted, afflict the comfortable kind of guy. That's what I am, and I think that's my job. If I think about my job as a satirist, that's what I do.
Right.
You do it well.
Well, we can still make fun of the handicapped in our spare time.
Well,
if you're crippled and you know it, clap your hands. If you have them. If you're crippled.
And here's the thing, Big Zebra, is that even though it's difficult to communicate to people how the medium that you're working on actually allows you to be more flexible. The jokes that you tell, like if you're at a nightclub, if you're at a club, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock, and everyone's having a good time, then maybe you can probably get away with a lot more than what you can do at 9:30 in the morning on a Friday. You know, you can get away with a clip of you being at a nightclub when you have a lot of people laughing, and you know, it's really the medium that allows you. Like, for an example, on the blog, I say a lot of crazy things, right? And a lot of like really extreme things sometimes, and but I don't always say those same things here. I think there's a difference depending on the stage that you're standing on. But that's
right.
Yeah, a good comedian knows his audience.
Yeah,
knows when the timing is everything.
Yeah.
The girlfriend says throw real babies.
They're a real baby.
Now Dr. Mordecai says throw shrimp at them, as if they were like little fetuses. I think.
Well, I would say this is that the girlfriend did grow up in Texas, so she is a little bit more extreme. So,
well, anyway, I think there's some general motion towards the throwing babies idea. I was thinking of artificial doll-like babies, but you know, maybe the time has come.
So yeah, maybe it has. Maybe it has, Big Zebra. Be like get a slingshot or something. I don't know.
Every so often I see when these protests come up, someone is wearing the Handmaid's Tale uniform.
Oh yeah, very very in chic. You know, that never goes out of style here in the States. I don't think that'll ever go out of style.
I was a kid when Handmaid's Tale came out in book form by Canada's own Margaret Atwood. And as a kid, I thought, well, yes, there's an anti-abortion movement in the U.S., but it'll never come to this with the complete subjugation of women. But you know what? I think I'm wrong. I think people are really working towards that.
Yeah, the country has had. This is such a stressful day for me. I have to tell you this. The day has had the country has had its share of satanic panics, but they've had its share of uterus panics too. And Caitlin Bailey, who's been on the channel a couple of times, she's does the All Pro podcast. She was a sex worker. She's a comedian now and a podcaster. And she has in her podcast, The Oldest Profession, she talks about the history of sex work. And there's been several times that women have obtained power in this country. And then there's been times that it's been revoked from them. I think we lost John Benson. Yeah, like it's been.
Yes, he had to sign out. Grandkid issues.
Oh, grandkid issues. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. But we are running towards the end of the show anyway. So there you go. Hey everyone, I'm dropping another video of my recent conversation with Jonathan M.S. Pierce. The name of the video is How Christians Deal with Trauma, of how they deal with, and it's a quick video, but I think we get to a nugget of truth, a bit of wisdom about how Christians and other believers deal with trauma while still being Christian, while still being a believer, how they square that circle or how they don't. So I'll be dropping that sometime around 5 p.m. tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Looking forward to it.
Heck
yeah. And then I'll drop some more videos over the weekend. I've been trying to crank up the material. That's what I have been. I can't believe I haven't mentioned this. I left the most important thing towards the very end. So I got full-time work hours starting next week. Yeah, congrats, right? So that means I don't really know yet. I think I'm going into work at 9 a.m. I think, not positive. So if I do, then I'm going to push this show back till 8. If you all remember, if you've been with me from the beginning, or from near the beginning, when Chris Mallard and I were doing the show, we were doing it at 8 a.m. and doing a full hour show. So I'm thinking 8 a.m. on Monday. And, I'll let you all know. I will send out messages and put it on the YouTube community section on the channel, just to let you know what definitely is going on for Monday. But yeah, it's good that I'm working full time. Yay, right? and it's not good too at the same time because I'm working full time. So hey, there we go.
All right, man.
All
It's
right.
been real.
Thanks everyone. Shamala.
Hamala.
Shyamalan.
Take care.